Hey, it's Kevin. The title of this one is They Will All Make You Rich on Paper or a Whiteboard or a Zoom webinar. What is the one thing that every theoretical MLM compensation model presentation promises, but in over 60 years of actual practice has failed to achieve? Let's talk about the not so secret, dirty little secret of attrition. Every network marketing company compensation plan presentation I've ever seen loves to point to the hypothetical potential of the simplicity of geometric growth through the duplication of a few people. This ever having occurred any time in network marketing's entire history is something akin to a unicorn or some other mythological beast being captured and put in a zoo for the public to see. I started putting pen to paper back in the 90s, not long after I started doing these ridiculously contrived pieces of theater to see how far down four who would sponsor four would take me. I did it with two, and I did it with three. I even did it with five. If you've never done this, do it with your own company's comp plan presentation. The big payoff only comes at levels 5 or much deeper before you get into any substantial money. Now, my favorite compensation plan to make fun of is the binary or some other force matrix iteration, 2 by 12, 3 by 10, 5 by 7, it doesn't matter, because it's so unfair and deceptive in how it is promoted as the ideal plan for the little guy. Actually, it's just the opposite. It's the plan for the big guy. And that is absolutely not true that it's a good plan for everybody. In the real world, what happens typically in a binary or any plan that limits the number of people whom you can sponsor yourself on your first level. These plans, particularly the binary, are designed to create mass amounts of unpaid commissions to roll up to the company. I know people who love binaries. They're really good recruiters who like to sell the concept of spillover. Let me tell you a story. There was a lady in a binary plan, which was also coupled with a unilevel plan. 50% paid out in the binary, 50% paid out in the unilevel. And she's making several $1,000s a week from it. Now, the company showcased her as this great success story, and they trotted her out on stage every time they got the chance to show how this nice lady farmer from nowhere, USA, was an example of this great compensation model. Fast forward a few years. Regulators were starting to look at the binary very unfavorably in the early 2000s. So the company decided to get rid of the binary altogether. Now, they didn't ask this lady because she would have said no, but she's an independent contractor and the company makes the decisions. So she had benefited from her heavy-hitting recruiting upline, who are now the enrolling associates for several people in her binary downline. Now they're the direct sponsors for these same people in the new level only plan. If you don't follow along with this, I'm sorry. This is how things work. This woman's here's what happened. The woman's huge binary downline that she really didn't earn or deserve, but she made a bunch of money from, disappeared overnight, and her income went away. Don't take this the wrong way. I'm not rejoicing in this woman's misfortune. I'm merely stating that the circumstances that caused her success were a byproduct of the compensation plan and not her own efforts or her skill level. Because the spillover that she got from the binary was no longer there when the company decided the binary was a good plan, and it's not. The number one reason it creates cripples who don't have to be self-sufficient leaders, and it disincentivizes people to build their own business. It is also completely arbitrary in who wins the binary lottery. It's really completely timing and random chance. And the people who are pros in the industry, they know this. And that's why they use the manipulative tactics they need to in order to build it, which is another huge problem with binaries and what are called waiting room compensation plans, which there's a really famous one out there. This is the problem. People can use this aspect of that type of plan in order to use people as bargaining chips to entice others to join the program. Now, I've seen this in my many years in the industry, and I've even done it myself to my own shame in former plans. It's a great fear of loss tool to give someone an incentive to join before someone else does, and then use this person as a pawn in your game. So you can get 2 or 3 or however many you can snag and stuff down in a leg for the price of one. So what happens later down the road when someone finds out that you didn't actually sponsor them, but that someone they didn't know is their sponsor 6 levels away from you? I will tell you what will happen. It'll cause resentment in that person and envy of the other people, and it will make that person feel exactly the way they should feel. You use them as a thing to get what you wanted by placing them in someone else's business. I sponsor everyone direct to myself. If someone wants to see my back office, they can. Everybody's sponsored directly to me. Even though my company has a sponsor option and an enroller option, I can enroll anybody under anybody if I wanted to, but I don't do that. I only sponsor people that I prospect, and that's to be fair to them. I showed them the business. They want to work with me. To give them to someone else is not honest. It doesn't have integrity for me. And this is why I'll never work a binary. I don't care if they're selling $100 bills for a penny. Now, I might become a customer in a company like that, though. If there's someone out there doing that, just DM me. Well, this is the stuff that I'm sick of seeing in this industry, and it's going on right now. I'm talking right now. I just saw someone do this with 600 people in a new company, and it's shameful. But they bragged about how much money they made in their first week. It was an obscene amount of money, but I don't expect it to last forever because it can't. Now people argue with me and say that attrition is just a necessary evil in this business, and a binary is just, one of those things that basically uses the attrition model to benefit the people who work. Okay, but it's not for me. And I'd rather someone quit before they get started than for me to get them to join under false pretenses and then have them find out that I misled them, so that then they quit with a very unpleasant taste in their mouth, which they will then go and relate to other people on the internet, making my job even harder than it was before. I'm tired of cleaning up the messes that other unethical people in this industry have created for me in order for me to do my business with honor and integrity. I'm just sick of it. Well, that was my Tuesday rant. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great Tuesday, everybody.